Sprite Castle. Sprite Castle. Sprite Castle.
Mr. Rob O'Hara.
Sprite Castle.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Sprite Castle. On today's episode, I'm going to be playing Donkey Kong, and specifically, I'm going to be playing two different versions of Donkey Kong. I'm going to play both the Atarisoft version, released in 1983, and the Ocean Software version, which came out a few years later in 1986. Here we have the original Donkey Kong version. I just returned over the weekend. I attended the Kong Off 3 in Denver, Colorado, which took place at the 1UP Arcade, where the world's greatest Donkey Kong players, including people such as Steve Wiebe, Hank Chin, and of course Billy Mitchell, that you may have heard of from the King of Kong, were all there to battle it out on 22 Donkey Kong arcade machines. And the top 9 scores were all over 1 million, which is an amazing Donkey Kong score. I will not be getting anywhere near that today, unfortunately, for you, or near 100,000, or probably 10,000, and I'm shooting for 1,000. This is the title screen for the original Donkey Kong, released in 1983 by Atarisoft, copyright 1981 by Nintendo. You can see here, if I press F5, I can cycle through the different levels that I can start at. I can start on the elevator, the pie level, girders, whatever. I'm going to start just with the normal barrels. This is kind of confusing. It says press F3 for a 2-player game. That means right now we are in 1-player game mode. So if you hit F3, it would actually switch to 2-player. A little confusing. But the easiest part is to hit F1 to start the game. And so what you will see here is essentially Donkey Kong. This has the same amount of girders, I guess, as the arcade version. There you can see Mario, and I am already running up. Actually, you can see Jumpman, which was his name before we knew Mario's name. Holy cow, that was a little aggressive for an easy level. That seems crazy. Donkey Kong's on a roll. Good lord. The 2 complaints about this version that you see online. The 3 complaints. One is that he throws barrels like that. That's crazy. The most obvious thing that you'll see right now is that the aspect ratio is different than the arcade game. Boy, he's just going to keep doing that, isn't he? This Kong won't let up. Watch out for that one. He's going to do it to me again, isn't he? Nope. Alright, let's do it. Oh, good grief. Boy, doesn't it seem... Maybe I picked a hard level. This seems particularly aggressive. And I may actually be right. I may not hit 1,000 points, which would be super embarrassing. Good grief. This is some angry donkey. Wow. I could barely talk while I'm playing this. Let's try this. Let's see how old Donkey Kong thinks of this. So, one thing that you can see right now, like I said, is that the aspect ratio is different than the arcade game. This is a horizontal layout. Also, wow, that did not seem fair. You can see that it is horizontal versus vertical. I'm going to make sure that I am on the easy level. Did that not seem ridiculous? Gosh, maybe it's supposed to start here. I don't know. I'm going to try it. So everything looks wide and fat as opposed to the arcade game. Unfortunately, so do I. I wish that were a webcam problem. It's more of a dietary... No, this version looks harder, doesn't it? So anyway, yeah, everybody looks a little wider and fatter. Oh, I got stuck there. The ladders in this version, that's another complaint that a lot of people have about this version. I did start right on level 5, it says right up there in the upper right-hand corner. Also, you can tell if you got the cracked version of this. You can tell this is the cracked one because Pauline, instead of saying help up there, has been modified to say 1103, which I believe is has to do with the group that cracked it. Ridiculous. Look at this barrel. That's crazy. Well, we may try it one more time on an easy level. But yeah, it's easy to get stuck on barrels or on ladders on this version, and sometimes it's hard to get off them. And sometimes you can mistime your jumps. It almost seems, I'm not gonna say it's laggy, because then that okay, so that seems like the easy version there. And you know what, just for simplicity's sake and just to speed this along, I'm gonna try just a different level just so you can see what they look like. But they are all laid out like the arcade. It has all the same levels as the arcade. It has the pie factory, and it has so it has all. Oh, so I've just jumped to level 4. So I really haven't done myself any good. I thought I would start on the second screen, but no, I've just made this game. The game that I wasn't doing well on easy level, I've made it harder. So that doesn't really seem like good planning in particular, does it? Alright, let's try to get around this guy. Get around that guy. Around this guy. And here we are. See, that's how it's done. That's what I decided to use both hands. And here we go. Pick up the telephone, as Buckner Garcia would tell you, which is not a telephone, it's a purse. What does Buckner Garcia know? Oh, they know not to do that. Alright. Where are we at on time? I don't want to spend too much time because I want to show you both versions here. Yeah, this is actually one of the early, this may be actually the very first Commodore 64 game I ever saw. My neighbors across the street who had a Commodore 64 had this on cartridge, and that's where a lot of people had this. So you know, Commodore was notorious, unfortunately, for its, unless you had a fast load cartridge of some sort, for its slow loading times. And which, if you've ever listened to my other podcast, you don't know flack, you know all about loading time. And so with a cartridge, you know, you could get away from that. Eventually that hammer's going to disappear, just like that. And then I'm going to run into that guy. I know I can't jump over him. I'm not very good at this, it turns out. I mean, I'm great, but yeah. Alright, so anyway, this is Donkey Kong, the Atarisoft version for the Commodore 64. So I'm going to hop out of WinVice here. I'm going to go down and I'm going to throw us into the 1986 version, which was released by Ocean. Jump through a couple of screens here. So here we have Donkey Kong 86 from Ocean Software. As you can see, the aspect ratio has been fixed, if you want to call it that. Everything is now narrower. It is the more traditional horizontal layout. Now, of course, on a regular television or something, oh my gosh, didn't have the joystick in the wrong thing. This also seems to be running very fast. I may have this in PAL mode versus NTSC. We'll see here. Hang on just a second, folks. Things are not going good with this show. Nope. NTSC, 98%, 59 frames a second. I just suck. Oh, that's Run Mario. Run Mario, run. And so I found a lot as a kid which version I preferred depending on which one I had been playing. If I was playing this one more, then I liked this version. If I was playing the other one more, I enjoyed it more. Oh, I really meant to get that hammer. Does this have 2 hammers on this level? Yeah, it does. Okay. I was going to say, that would be different. Let's try that just for something to do. Well, that seems stupid. This is going to be the worst episode ever. I'm already dead and I restarted, so I'm going to give this one more shot here. Sound is different, not as good, a lot of people say, on this version. The graphics, it depends on which style you prefer. I grew up playing the other version. Like I said, that was the first version of Donkey Kong I had ever seen. And I think it was probably the first Commodore 64 game I ever saw. So, that should not have worked. Based on how everything else is going, it shouldn't have worked, but I'll take it. Get up there, Mario. Oh, game over. Oh, she's gone. Just like all the ladies in my life. Save them and then they're gone. So we see we're playing a configuration where the Pie Factory here is the second level. Let's see if this goes up before the fireball comes. It's a race. And she's gone. But I've got the high score, and look at this. I'm doing so much better on this version. So this is obviously the better version based on my gameplay. Oh. So both versions have me dying in ridiculous spots. No, both versions have all the levels that you're... Oh, I've started a 2-player game. Anyway, this is the other version of Donkey Kong. So you can compare the two. You see the differences. Both of them are freely available anywhere on the internet that you can find arcade games or Commodore 64 disc images and such. So anyway, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Sprite Castle. I was out of town last week, so we did not have any new episodes, but we are back and recording hot and live in front of the Commodore, in front of the mic. We are ready to go. So you can always find the latest episodes at spritecastle.com, or you could go check out throwbacknetwork.net, where you can find Sprite Castle and lots of other retro-themed podcasts. So thanks for tuning in, and I will see you on another episode of Sprite Castle.